Ladies and gentlemen, many of you ask me how to break free from stagnation and debt. Let's have a practical and honest conversation today. When I was young, I didn't have money, connections, or any special privileges. But I had one thing: the determination to build skills that could create value over time. I spent 8 years learning English by guiding American tourists in my hometown. I wasn't paid most of the time, but I saw it as an investment in myself. This wasn't about short-term rewards, it was about preparing for a future I couldn't yet see. To sustain a long-term goal like this, you must have clarity about what you truly want. For me, mastering English wasn't just about language, it was about opening doors to new opportunities. I wanted to learn how the world worked, how people thought, and how to communicate effectively. While others sought immediate gains, I focused on acquiring skills that would compound over time. This perspective kept me motivated, even when progress felt slow. Success doesn't always come from owning something. Often, it's about managing resources or providing services that others need. Take a property manager, for example. They earn consistent profits without bearing the risks of ownership. They don't worry about property maintenance costs or market fluctuations. They focus on creating value through their management skills. Similarly, cleaning services for rental properties operate on the same principle. They don't own the homes, but profit by providing essential services that homeowners and tenants rely on. These ideas aren't limited to property management or cleaning. Think about laundromats, businesses that thrive by meeting a basic but universal need. Construction service providers are another example. Carpenters, painters, and contractors don't have to own the buildings they work on. They profit by offering their expertise. These are simple yet powerful examples of how you can start small and grow by focusing on the services that others depend on. Breaking free from poverty isn't just about money, it's about mindset and strategy. Start by asking yourself, what skills can I build today that will serve me tomorrow? For me, English was the foundation that eventually helped me build relationships, understand global markets, and create Alibaba. If you're in debt or feeling stuck, focus on what you can learn right now. Every skill you acquire becomes a tool for solving bigger problems later. The key is to shift your mindset. Too many people believe they need to own something or wait for the perfect circumstances to build wealth. This belief holds them back. The truth is, opportunities are everywhere, even in the simplest markets. It's about spotting a gap, offering a solution, and building your skill set to deliver value. Success isn't about starting with everything, it's about starting with what you have and where you are. When I began Alibaba, I had nothing but a vision and the willingness to act. The same principle applies to these business ideas. You don't need to invent something revolutionary or invest massive capital to start. You just need to recognize what people need and find a way to provide it better, faster, or more efficiently. Begin small, focus on learning, and let your results guide you towards growth. Could the next big opportunity be hiding in plain sight? Look at the market around you and ask yourself, what services are in demand? What simple solutions could you offer? The path to success isn't always about ownership. It's about innovation, action, and a willingness to begin today. Procrastination is like quicksand for our dreams. Think for a moment. How many ideas have you had but never acted on because you were waiting for the perfect moment? When I started Alibaba, we were just 18 people in a small apartment, with no money, no technology, no connections. All we had was the belief that if we didn't act at that moment, we would lose the future we imagined. If not now, when? If not me, who? This phrase is not just motivational, it's a reminder that time is relentless. The truth is, the right moment never comes on its own. Often it has to be created. I used to tell my team that if we wanted to catch a rabbit, we couldn't wait for it to come to us. We had to be ready to chase it. That mindset drove us to turn challenges into opportunities. We didn't have resources, but we had courage. Today, with technology accessible to everyone, anyone with a smartphone already has more tools than we ever had at the beginning. Imagine your life as a river that flows constantly. Each idea, each opportunity is like a boat passing by. If you don't jump on it now, it will drift away. What I've learned in my journey is that the greatest regret doesn't come from failure, but from inaction. Even when everything seemed impossible, I knew trying was better than spending the rest of my life wondering, what if? Today, the world is full of hidden opportunities, and this is no cliché. When I see young people saying they need more money or time before starting something, I remind them that most great entrepreneurs started with nothing, just an idea and the willingness to act. Working with what you have, where you are, is the foundation of progress. It's not about having everything, but about doing something with what you already have. Don't wait any longer. The future belongs to those who act. You don't need guarantees to start. You need courage. What are you waiting for? Could the next step be exactly what changes your life? My life has been marked by rejections. At 18, I applied for simple jobs and was turned down by all of them. Even at KFC, when it first opened in my city, 23 people were hired, but I was the only one rejected. Each no felt like an insurmountable barrier, but it also brought lessons. What I learned is that failure doesn't define us unless we let it. It's not the rejections that shape our future, but how we respond to them. Turning these experiences into fuel to move forward was essential. Harvard rejected me 10 times, but I never let that define my worth. Instead, I saw every closed door as an opportunity to find new paths. Persistence isn't just about keeping on trying. It's about learning and reinventing yourself at every step. In the early days of Alibaba, we were turned down by practically every major investor of the time, but I knew that as long as I believed in my vision, there was a way to succeed. Think about this. Moments of rejection are not the end of the road, but a detour to a new route. When I speak about resilience, I'm talking about the ability to get up after every fall. In my experience, failure taught me more than any success ever could. Often, the no we receive is the push we need to create something even bigger. The journey of Alibaba wasn't built in a straight line. It took years of challenges where doubt was always lurking. Each difficulty we faced was a reminder that the most challenging paths often lead to the most rewarding destinations. Persistence isn't just about enduring pressure, but about holding on to the vision, even when it feels far away. When you hear a no, what does it awaken in you? Frustration or determination? Rejections are inevitable, but it's up to you to turn them into bridges, not walls. After all, could the next door you knock on be the gateway to the future you've always dreamed of? Have you noticed how some people always seem to be in the right place at the right time? What many call luck, I call perception. At the beginning of Alibaba, we saw potential where no one else did. While large companies focused on dominating the market, I asked myself, who is helping small businesses? That simple question was the key to unlocking invisible doors and creating a platform that connected millions of small entrepreneurs to the global market. Opportunities rarely come neatly packaged. They often look like problems or challenges at first. What truly makes a difference is how you interpret them. For example, when I started exploring e-commerce, the internet in China was slow and the digital infrastructure was almost non-existent. Many gave up before even trying, but I saw a chance to build something from scratch. When you change your perspective, you can turn obstacles into pathways. Training your mind to identify the hidden potential around you is a powerful skill. It's not just about looking at what's in front of you, but about connecting the dots that others ignore. It's like adjusting a camera. While many focus only on the obvious, you can zoom out and discover new angles. Spotting what's on the margins often means being a step ahead. But how do you develop this vision? Curiosity is the answer. Ask yourself, what if? How could this be different? These questions help me see that the greatest opportunities often lie in unmet needs. The internet showed me that even with limited resources, it's possible to create something extraordinary. When small strategic actions are applied to overlooked areas, the impact can be extraordinary. Are you looking at the world around you with the right eyes? Perhaps the next big opportunity is already in front of you, waiting for you to see it clearly. Are you ready to adjust your focus and capture what others overlook? What separates great leaders from ordinary entrepreneurs is their ability to look far beyond the present moment. When I founded Alibaba, I wasn't just thinking about the next year, I was imagining the next 20. It's easy to focus on quick wins, but true success demands a vision that transcends immediate rewards. Building something sustainable requires not just effort, but also the ability to think strategically and see the bigger picture. Short-term success can feel satisfying, but it often lacks depth and longevity. Many entrepreneurs fail because they prioritize what's right in front of them without considering what lies ahead. When I thought about creating Alibaba, my goal wasn't just to succeed in China, but to connect small businesses worldwide. It was this long-term thinking that kept us grounded, even in challenging times, and helped us stay aligned with our greater mission. Imagine planting a tree. If you only focus on the fruits you'll get this year, you'll miss the value of the shade it could provide in the future. Leaders who think long-term invest in their people, their systems, and their goals, knowing that these efforts will multiply over time. Building Alibaba was like cultivating a forest. It required patience, consistency, and an unwavering belief in what we were creating. Thinking long-term isn't just about business. It's a mindset. It's about asking yourself not just what you want now, but what you're willing to build for the future. I've often said that if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This philosophy teaches us that long-term growth requires adapting, learning, and evolving to meet the demands of the future. Are you planning for your legacy or just your next paycheck? The leaders who inspire change and create lasting impact are the ones who look far beyond today's challenges. Could this shift in thinking be the missing piece in your journey toward greatness? Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of a new perspective. Throughout my life, I faced rejection after rejection. I failed my university entrance exams multiple times. I was turned down for countless jobs. Even investors told me Alibaba was a ridiculous idea. But those failures didn't break me. They built me. They forced me to think differently and refine my approach. Mistakes are life's best teachers. When we launched Alibaba, we faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. Payments, logistics, and trust in online commerce were huge issues in China at the time. We stumbled more times than I can count, but each misstep taught us something crucial. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about how quickly you can learn, adapt, and try again. Look at your failures as stepping stones. Every time you fall, you're one step closer to understanding what works. I often tell people, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. This mindset kept me motivated during the toughest times. If you're not failing, you're probably not trying hard enough. Changing your relationship with failure is transformational. Instead of fearing it, embrace it as a natural part of growth. I always remind young entrepreneurs that every successful person has a history of missteps. The difference is that they didn't give up. They used those experiences to propel themselves forward. What if failure is not a wall, but a window? Could your biggest lessons be hiding behind your greatest setbacks? The next time you stumble, will you choose to rise stronger? Big dreams come with big risks, but they also come with incredible rewards. When I started Alibaba, many people thought I was crazy. How could a small team with no resources create a company that would change the way the world does business? But I believed in the power of dreaming big and taking bold steps, even when the odds seemed impossible. Small dreams are easy to achieve, but they rarely inspire. It takes courage to think beyond what feels safe. When you dare to dream big, you're not just pursuing success for yourself, you're creating something that can impact others. I've often said, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This mindset allowed us to adapt and grow, turning our ambitious vision into reality. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you act despite the fear. Every big dream I've chased came with moments of doubt and uncertainty. But what kept me going was the belief that we were building something meaningful. It's not about waiting until you feel ready. It's about taking the first step even when you're unsure. Dreaming big requires persistence and resilience. You will face challenges and people will doubt you. But if your vision is clear and your determination is strong, you can overcome any obstacle. Remember, the bigger the dream, the greater the impact you can make on the world around you. Are you limiting yourself by thinking small? Could a bigger dream unlock the potential you've always had? What would happen if you found the courage to pursue it? Innovation is not just about technology, it's about finding new ways to create value. When we founded Alibaba, we weren't the first e-commerce platform. But what made us different was how we approached the challenges of small businesses in China. While others focused on big corporations, we designed solutions for the little guy, helping them compete on a global scale. In a world where it seems like everything has been done, how do you stand out? The answer is creativity and a deep understanding of the needs around you. Innovation isn't always about inventing something entirely new. Sometimes it's about doing something familiar in a better, smarter way. Think of innovation as a bridge. It connects problems with solutions in ways no one else has considered. One of the best examples is when we created Singles Day in China, now the largest online shopping event in the world. It started as an unconventional idea to celebrate single people with discounts. Many thought it wouldn't work, but we dared to try. Today, it's an event that generates billions in sales. That's the power of thinking outside the box and not being afraid to fail. Being innovative means taking risks and being willing to experiment. Not every idea will succeed, but each attempt brings you closer to the breakthrough you're searching for. Encourage a culture where trying new things is celebrated, not feared. Remember, great innovations often come from unexpected places. Could the next big idea be hiding in plain sight? Are you willing to explore new paths and redefine what's possible? In business and in life, people matter more than profits. From the early days of Alibaba, I understood that success wasn't just about technology or strategy, it was about the relationships we built along the way. I always said, customers first, employees second, shareholders third. This philosophy often confused Wall Street. But for me, it was clear. If we took care of people, the results would follow. Strong relationships are like bridges. They connect us to opportunities, ideas, and support systems that we can't build alone. In a digital age where everything seems to be about algorithms and data, the power of genuine human connections is often underestimated. Relationships built on trust and mutual respect don't just enhance your business, they enrich your entire life. Creating meaningful connections requires more than just networking. It's about listening, caring, and understanding the needs of others. When we launched Alibaba, we focused on empowering small businesses, not because it was profitable at the time, but because we believed in their potential. That belief created lasting partnerships that fueled our growth and success. But relationships aren't just about business, they're about purpose. Whether it's your customers, your employees, or your friends, the bonds you create shape the kind of leader you become. People don't follow ideas, they follow those who make them feel valued. Building those connections requires humility, honesty, and a willingness to put others first. Are you prioritizing the people around you? Could investing in authentic relationships be the key to unlocking opportunities you've never imagined? Perhaps the greatest wealth you'll ever have lies in the people you choose to journey with. A positive mindset is not just a feel-good concept, it's a strategy for resilience. When I faced countless rejections in my early years, I could have given up. But instead of dwelling on the negatives, I focused on what I could learn and improve. I often say, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. That dream gave me energy to overcome every obstacle in my path. Positivity doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means reframing challenges as opportunities. At Alibaba, we faced problems that could have crushed us. Logistical nightmares, payment issues, and skepticism from investors. But instead of being overwhelmed, we saw each hurdle as a puzzle to solve. That shift in perspective turned setbacks into stepping stones. Think of your mindset as a lens through which you see the world. If you focus on the negatives, that's all you'll see. But if you look for possibilities, they'll begin to reveal themselves. It's not about blind optimism. It's about practical hope, believing in your ability to find a way forward, no matter how difficult things seem. Adopting a positive outlook also inspires those around you. At Alibaba, we created a culture where failure wasn't feared because we believed every mistake was a chance to grow. That mindset gave our team the courage to innovate and take risks. When people feel empowered, they can achieve extraordinary things. What if your greatest challenges are hiding your greatest opportunities? Could a simple change in perspective transform the way you approach adversity? The next time life gets tough, what will you choose to focus on? When I started Alibaba, I didn't just see it as a Chinese company. I saw it as a bridge connecting small businesses to the global market. While others focused on dominating their local regions, I asked myself, how can we help businesses anywhere reach customers everywhere? That mindset of thinking globally while acting locally became the foundation of our success. Global thinking doesn't mean ignoring your roots. It means leveraging them to create something bigger. The internet has made the world smaller, but it's also created infinite opportunities. Whether you're in a big city or a small village, you have the tools to connect with people, ideas, and markets around the globe. The key is to start where you are and build outward. When you think globally, you expand your perspective. It's not just about selling products or services. It's about understanding different cultures, needs, and trends. At Alibaba, we weren't just creating a platform for e-commerce. We were building a community that celebrated diversity and inclusion. That global vision inspired millions to dream bigger. But global impact starts with local action. Every big movement begins with small, meaningful steps. When we first launched Alibaba, our focus was on helping small businesses in China. That local impact grew into a global platform because we never lost sight of the people we were serving. Thinking big doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It means using your foundation to reach higher. Are you limiting your vision to what's immediately around you? Could embracing a global mindset unlock opportunities you've never considered? What if your next step could connect you to the world? Education is the foundation of progress. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I was a teacher, and that experience shaped my belief that learning is the most powerful tool we have. But as the world changes, so must the way we educate ourselves and the next generation. The skills we learn in school are not always enough for the challenges of a digital future. Today, machines are taking over repetitive tasks, which means creativity, emotional intelligence, and problem-solving are more important than ever. At Alibaba, we learned that success wasn't just about technical knowledge, but about adaptability and innovation. These are skills that can't be taught in traditional classrooms, but are essential for navigating a rapidly changing world. Education isn't limited to formal systems. It's a lifelong commitment to growth. When we started Alibaba, the internet was new, and no one knew how to use it effectively. We had to teach ourselves and others about its potential. That process of continuous learning became one of our greatest strengths. Investing in education is also an investment in your future. Whether it's reading books, attending workshops, or learning from mentors, every step you take towards self-improvement builds a stronger foundation for success. The more you learn, the more equipped you are to adapt to new opportunities and challenges. Are you preparing yourself for the future, or are you stuck in outdated ways of thinking? Could learning something new today open doors you didn't even know existed? Education isn't just about knowledge, it's about transformation. Crisis is an inevitable part of life, but it's also a test of character. When I started Alibaba, we faced challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. We had no funding, no infrastructure, and no support from the government. Every day felt like a battle for survival. But what I learned is that resilience isn't about avoiding difficulty, it's about thriving in the midst of it. Every crisis holds hidden opportunities. When the world feels chaotic, it's often the best time to innovate and grow. At Alibaba, moments of uncertainty forced us to think differently. We didn't see problems as roadblocks, we saw them as puzzles to solve. This mindset helped us create solutions that not only kept us afloat, but propelled us forward. Resilience doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means accepting the reality of a situation and adapting to it. During the early days of Alibaba, there were times when I wasn't sure if we would survive. But instead of letting fear consume me, I focused on what we could control. Small, consistent actions during tough times create momentum, and that momentum can lead to breakthroughs. The most important lesson I've learned is that resilience isn't just about strength, it's about flexibility. It's about bending, but not breaking. When crises arise, the businesses and individuals who adapt the fastest are the ones who succeed. This ability to pivot and persevere is what separates those who survive from those who thrive. Are you seeing the opportunities hidden in your challenges? Could your greatest strength be discovered in the middle of uncertainty? When the storm passes, will you be stronger, or will you have missed the chance to grow? Hard work is essential, but it's not enough. When I was younger, I believed that success was simply about putting in long hours. But as I grew, I realized that working smart was just as important as working hard. At Alibaba, we didn't just focus on effort, we focused on efficiency and strategy. It's not about how much you do, but how well you do it. Think of hard work as the engine and smart work as the GPS. Without the engine, you won't move. But without the GPS, you might end up driving in circles. I often told my team that energy without direction is wasted. The key to success is finding the balance between perseverance and precision. Working smart also means knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Instead of trying to do everything, focus on what you're best at and collaborate with others who complement your skills. At Alibaba, I knew I wasn't the smartest or the most technical person in the room, but I surrounded myself with people who were, and together we achieved things I could never have done alone. Time is your most valuable resource. If you spend it on the wrong things, no amount of hard work will save you. Working smart means prioritizing what matters most and letting go of distractions. Whether it's delegating tasks, using technology, or streamlining processes, smart strategies amplify your results. Are you using your energy wisely, or are you stuck in a cycle of busy work? Could a small change in your approach make a big difference? Perhaps the secret to unlocking your potential lies not in doing more, but in doing better. Entrepreneurship is not just about making money, it's about creating something meaningful. From the beginning, my goal with Alibaba was never just to build a successful company, but to help small businesses thrive. I often said, customers first, employees second, shareholders third. This principle wasn't popular with investors, but it became the foundation of our success. When you work with purpose, you create value that goes beyond profits. Purpose gives your work meaning, and meaning inspires others to join you. At Alibaba, we wanted to empower the underdogs, the small businesses that were often overlooked. That mission not only drove our growth, but also created a sense of pride and fulfillment for everyone involved. Purpose-driven entrepreneurship isn't just good for society, it's good for business. When your work aligns with your values, it becomes easier to stay motivated during tough times. People want to support companies that stand for something. That's why purpose is not just a moral decision, it's a strategic one. Impact doesn't happen by accident. It requires intentionality and commitment. Whether it's through sustainable practices, community engagement, or innovation, purposeful businesses leave a legacy. When I look back at what we've achieved at Alibaba, I'm most proud of the ways we've helped others, not just the revenue we've generated. Are you building something that matters? Could aligning your business with a greater purpose amplify your success? What legacy will your work leave behind? No matter how successful you become, never lose the humility of a beginner. After decades of building Alibaba, I've learned that the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. The beginner's mindset is about staying curious, open, and willing to learn, even when you've achieved great things. Success can be a trap. It makes you comfortable, and comfort can lead to stagnation. To avoid this, I remind myself to think like I did in the early days, full of questions, eager to explore, and unafraid of making mistakes. When you approach challenges with fresh eyes, you see possibilities that others overlook. The beginner's mindset also means being adaptable. The world changes quickly, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. At Alibaba, we constantly reinvented ourselves, not because we were failing, but because we knew that staying relevant required continuous evolution. This mindset isn't just for business, it's for life. Whether you're starting a new project, learning a skill, or facing a challenge, approaching it with curiosity and enthusiasm makes the journey more rewarding. It's not about pretending you don't know anything. It's about being open to the idea that there's always more to learn. Are you stuck in the comfort of what you know, or are you embracing the excitement of what's next? Could rediscovering your beginner's mindset unlock new energy and creativity? What would happen if you started fresh today? Dreams are the first step toward changing your reality. No matter how difficult life gets, never let go of the vision you have for yourself. When we started Alibaba, we dreamed of creating a platform that would help small businesses compete globally. It was a big dream, and many people doubted us, but we believed in it, and that belief turned into action. Your dreams are like a compass. They guide you through the storms of life. When you have a clear vision of where you want to go, the obstacles along the way become easier to navigate. Even when faced with rejection, failure, and uncertainty, I held on to my dreams because they gave me purpose. Dreaming big takes courage, but it also takes persistence. There will be times when giving up feels like the easier option. But I've learned that the most rewarding achievements come from pushing through those moments of doubt. Success is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. Dreams don't just inspire you, they inspire others. When people see your passion and determination, they're more likely to support your journey. At Alibaba, our dreams became a shared vision, uniting our team and creating something far bigger than ourselves. That's the power of dreaming together. What dream are you holding on to? Could it be the spark that ignites a brighter future? The world is full of possibilities, but are you ready to chase them?
Jack Ma, the legendary founder of Alibaba, delivered a presentation that left audiences inspired and reflective. His life story, marked by countless failures and unimaginable success, served as the foundation for powerful lessons on taking action, embracing persistence, and transforming adversity into opportunity. Jack Ma's insights are not just for entrepreneurs. They resonate with anyone striving to grow, succeed, and leave a meaningful legacy. In his presentation, Jack Ma stressed an urgent truth: the future doesn't wait. With his famous words, "If not now, when? If not me, who?" He called on everyone to break free from the paralysis of procrastination. Jack Ma reminded us that waiting for the perfect moment often results in missed opportunities. Drawing from his early days, when he had no money, no connections, and no resources, he proved that action and courage are what truly ignite change. Jack Ma shared a deeply personal lesson about persistence. He opened up about his rejection from Harvard 10 times, being turned down for 30 jobs, and even being the only candidate rejected by KFC when it opened in his city. Yet, instead of letting failure defeat him, he embraced it as a teacher. Rejection is not the end, Jack Ma stated. It's just another lesson. This mindset transformed his setbacks into stepping stones and allowed him to build one of the largest companies in the world. Another cornerstone of Jack Ma's philosophy is the power of long-term thinking. While most people chase immediate rewards, Jack Ma encouraged his audience to look beyond short-term gains. He likened this approach to planting a tree, not just for its fruits today, but for the shade it will provide in the future. Jack Ma's journey with Alibaba was guided by this principle, focusing on building something enduring rather than something fleeting. Jack Ma's ability to spot hidden opportunities set him apart as a visionary. While others saw problems, he saw possibilities. He recalled how the internet's slow development in China was viewed as a barrier, but he saw it as fertile ground for innovation. By asking the right questions and looking where others weren't, Jack Ma turned obstacles into opportunities. This ability to reframe challenges into advantages became a key driver of his success. One of the most impactful ideas Jack Ma shared was his philosophy on failure. Instead of fearing mistakes, he encouraged his audience to embrace them as an integral part of growth. He shared how Alibaba faced enormous difficulties, from logistical challenges to skeptical investors, but each failure brought invaluable lessons. Mistakes are life's best teachers, Jack Ma declared, reinforcing the idea that resilience is built through trial and error. Jack Ma also emphasized the importance of a positive mindset. He revealed how his optimism kept him moving forward despite the odds. When you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor, he explained. This mindset not only helped him overcome his own struggles, but also inspired his team at Alibaba to approach every challenge with determination and hope. A key takeaway from Jack Ma's presentation was his belief in the transformative power of dreaming big. He reminded everyone that bold dreams require courage and persistence, but yield the most rewarding results. For Jack Ma, dreaming big wasn't just about achieving personal success. It was about creating impact and empowering others. His journey with Alibaba exemplified how big dreams can inspire and unite people around a shared vision. Jack Ma's lessons on long-term thinking and resilience are not confined to the business world. They apply to all areas of life. Whether in relationships, careers, or personal growth, his advice to focus on the bigger picture while embracing failures is a roadmap to success. Jack Ma's journey is proof that vision, persistence, and a positive attitude can overcome even the toughest challenges. The final words of Jack Ma's presentation left a lasting impression. Dreams are the first step toward changing reality, he said, urging the audience to take action, no matter how small, toward their goals. His story challenges us to stop waiting, to turn rejection into motivation, and to seize the opportunities that others overlook. Are you ready to follow Jack Ma's advice and build the future you deserve? Now that you've explored Jack Ma's powerful insights, it's time to take action. What step will you take today to break free from procrastination, turn rejection into growth, and transform challenges into opportunities? Jack Ma's journey proves that the most extraordinary successes often begin with the simplest decisions, decisions made with courage, persistence, and a positive mindset. Think about what resonated most with you. Was it the urgency of acting now? The resilience to turn failures into stepping stones? Or the vision to dream big despite limited resources? Each of these lessons holds the power to reshape your life, but only if you apply them. What's stopping you from taking that first bold step today? Leave a comment below and share which part of Jack Ma's story inspired you the most. Was it his rejections and relentless persistence? His ability to see hidden opportunities? Or perhaps his belief in dreaming beyond limits? Your reflections could spark motivation for someone else reading. If you ever find yourself in doubt or need a reminder of what's possible, come back and revisit this video. Jack Ma's words are here to inspire you, again and again, whenever you need them. Don't let this be the last time you engage with this life-changing content. Make sure to subscribe to this channel before you leave. You might not find it again when you need it most. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming videos filled with lessons, inspiration, and strategies for success. And if you're ready to dive deeper, don't miss the next video. Unlock your potential. Jack Ma's Guide to Resilience and Focus. It's packed with insights that will elevate your journey to the next level. Will you keep dreaming, learning, and taking action? Join us on this journey of learning and growth.